Hello, this is Donna Lewis again, Clark County with the Clark County Park District, and right now I'm at the Wetlands, the Estel Wenrick Wetlands, and this is a great place to come because it's not as highly used as George Rogers Clark Park, and you do have to be prepared with some waders. Okay, so wear your waders. Be prepared for the weather out here. It is starting to sprinkle now, but we're surrounded by trees, as you can see. But this is a really pretty place to walk. You can see the water behind me, all the trees. It's a beautiful place to hike or take a nice long walk. So one of the things you'll find out at the wetlands is skunk cabbage. And right now it's starting to leaf out, but the skunk cabbage comes usually in February to bloom, and then it leaves out. So I'll show you here, if I can show you one of the leafed out skunk cabbages. There's some over here that you can see a little bit better, but they like really nice, moist, muddy areas. So it's a really cool plant to come and see. And this was one way that I taught my son how to use his binoculars. So it was something cool to look at that didn't move. So you can see how really cool it is. All right, another thing that's fun to look for out here, not only can you hear the birds like crazy out here, I've heard some pileated woodpeckers, red-bellied woodpeckers, cardinals. There's usually a lot of red-winged blackbirds. They're being pretty quiet today. But there's a lot of birds out here to see, and especially as we get closer to May, we're going to have a lot, into April and early May, we're going to have a lot of birds coming back from on their migration. So they spent time in Central and South America, and now they're coming back. So another fun thing to see here is the tracks. So if you can see here, the deer track, hopefully you can see that. There's a couple deer tracks there. You can see the 2 hoof prints. If we go over here, there's some more tracks. And if you follow them, they're leading back down a path through the woods. I've also seen raccoon tracks. But you can see how muddy it is here. You see all the leaves out there? That is the skunk cabbage all over here. They love this kind of habitat. They're called the skunk cabbage because if you broke a piece off of this leaf and smelled it, it does smell skunky, and it has a smell on the inside too that attracts insects for pollination. Very important plant for insects, and a really neat plant to see. So you can see some of them around here. And all you have to do is walk down the path, the wetland. There's a little path off to the side. There's something lurking in here, moving around. Some kind of insect, I can't tell what it is. But there's a lot of things to see out here. So here's a really big skunk cabbage leafing out. It's just really cool to see the different stages. And you can see we let things go. When they fall, we let them go. It's good for the environment out here. Gives the animals more habitat. I'm just going to walk along here. So here's a path that is deer made. You can see it. It makes a path all the way through up there in the wet areas. There's a lot of deer out here. They love to nibble on stuff out here. And if you look in a muddy area, like after it rained, or around here in the wetlands, it's muddy about any time, you can often see some good tracks. So you want to look for dirt and mud when you're looking for tracks. That's the best way to do it. So there's lots of deer tracks to find out here, and we're going to have some guides on our website of other tracks you can find, because that is one of the investigations that we have listed, is finding tracks when you go out and walk around. You can do it right in your own backyard, or you can come to the park, George Rogers Clark Park, Estel Wenrick Wetlands. We also have the Lettingham Prairie that is right beside here. If you go by the river, great place to find raccoon tracks. and heron tracks and other types of bird tracks. Little goldfinch tracks, American goldfinch will be there. A lot of times they like to find food right there along the river. So I'm going to give you another view of the wetlands. If you want some peace and quiet and to really have some good social distancing, but to also see some really pretty things and just enjoy the peace and quiet, this is the place to go. The birds are out. It's really peaceful out here. You hardly hear any traffic. So the Estel Wenrick Wetlands is off Union Road. It's on Union Road, near Spangler Road in Medway. So be sure to bring your kids out here and have them explore the wetlands. Wear old clothes and waders, again, because it is pretty wet. So I'm going to take a walk through here. We leave it pretty wild here. It's not going to be nicely manicured trails as you walk along, but it makes it more fun. My son loves to climb over the fallen trees in the woods. This is our boardwalk. And some of my wetland warriors out there that come once a month to programs with me. Can't do that right now, but they love to come out here. So I encourage them and you others watching as well to come out and experience the wetlands. Now on a sunny day, it's even prettier out here. But even today when it's threatening rain, it's a great time to be out here. Again, not anyone around. And kids, do not wear your new shoes out here. They'll get muddy. And wetland dirt is very rich in nutrients. So it tends to make your shoes smell a little bit. I don't know if you guys heard that, but there was a cardinal calling. There's cardinal calling out there if the sound's good enough here. There was a woodpecker a minute ago, but the cardinal's kind of out singing them all. So cardinals make a lot of sounds, and they make some really loud sounds. And if you hear a really loud bird out your window early in the morning, a lot of times it is a cardinal. But they're beautiful to hear. So here's some more skunk cabbage. It's one of my favorite plants to see because it comes so early in the year. In February, you can find the blooms. Here's a different looking one than what we saw before. And another wildflower right here starting to come up. So now the other wildflowers are starting to join the skunk cabbages. But the skunk cabbage comes out first. Okay, I'm going to scan back here. Now, the wetland can be pretty wild, and we've had a lot of wind lately. So there are some downed things sometimes in your path. That's okay. Wear your boots. And it makes it more interesting. Okay, so here's our little bridge here, and you can see more of the wetland out there. Wetlands are really important because they help filter out pollution. So when there's rain and the rain waters run into the wetland, people think it's just a swampy area, but it's really not. It's really important because it helps prevent flooding. It helps filter out pollution. It soaks in a lot of nutrients. It's a really good area for plants to grow. Amphibians like frogs and salamanders love to live here. So in this wooded area here, in this wetlands, we do have quite a bit of the gray tree frogs, which do live in Ohio all year. And they'll kind of hibernate when it's colder, but they're starting to come out now. And so if you hear a trill outside at night, outside at your house, it's usually a gray tree frog. So really cool to listen for. So, but a lot of birds and amphibians and snakes and other animals prefer to live in a habitat like this. You can also see that we have a lot of woodpeckers. So if you look at that tree out there, You can see the woodpecker holes, and I'm pretty sure those were made by the pileated woodpecker, which is the largest woodpecker we have in Ohio. There's birds flying around here. I don't have my big binoculars with me, so I can't tell you what they are, plus I'm holding the camera. But again, just a great place to come and visit. So keep your distance and also have a great time. Bring your family out to the Estel Wenrick Wetlands. Bring a snack. Make sure to take it back out with you. You can eat right here on the boardwalk and enjoy the skunk cabbage and the birds and everything else the wetland has to offer. So I encourage you to come out. Have a great day. Thanks.